Meetings are big business. In the United States alone, there are over 225 million attendees, supporting a $115 billion annual industry. However, with the world around us rapidly changing, a proactive approach by the meetings and events industry is an absolute necessity to remain relevant. So, what does this mean for the future of meetings? To answer that question, Marriott International and the Professional Convention Management Association assembled a group of acclaimed experts from diverse fields to discuss insights from their industries and the implications they may have on the future of meetings. The energetic discussion led us to synthesize 5 leading trends that we believe will drive change and innovation in the meetings and events industry over the next 3 to 5 years. Sensory analytics, tribalization, content safaris, Living 360, and immersive telepresence. Sensory analytics, capture an event's pulse with the Internet of Things. Advancements in data analytics and smart technology are simplifying our ability to collect data, analyze it, and make valuable adjustments in real time.
The amount of data that we have and the quality of the technologies that allow to collect precise data is what is going to enable the industry to keep pushing on the personalization and therefore be successful.
Imagine Internet of Things sensors that could take the pulse of an event. Are attendees too hot, too cold, losing interest, responding positively to the material? Meeting planners will constantly be aware of how attendees are feeling and therefore be expected to quickly adapt to enhance the attendee experience.
It's not that the computer tells you how to run the meeting or the computer tells you what to do. It's that when you have an idea, when you try something, you can get immediate feedback.
Accordingly, the execution of events will evolve to allow for minute-to-minute adjustments. Planners and venues will need to be the ultimate chameleons, adapting traditionally static meeting elements in the moment as needed. Tribalization, cultivate kinships to elevate outcomes. Through collaboration, crowdsourcing, and co-creation, today's consumers are moving away from individualism towards tribal communities of like-minded individuals who can push each other to a higher level.
There's no doubt that the U.S. has been an atomized society for a very long time and heavy on the individualism. And I think that did create a need for, or hunger for, community, which I think technology is helping to solve.
Following this trend, the main goal of meeting attendees will shift away from content consumption towards the formation of relationships.
Platforms like Facebook and Instagram, they allow access and exposure to vast areas of interest, and I think there's more comfort now in that and how that translates into physical gatherings and communities.
As joining a tribe becomes the preferred way to achieve better results, planners will need to facilitate meaningful connections before, during, and after events. Venues must also be flexible, offering adaptable spaces and collaborative technology that help elevate tribes toward tangible outcomes. Content safaris empower the nonlinear journey. With the rise of hyper-targeted content streams from companies like Facebook, Netflix, and Amazon, one-size-fits-all content distribution is becoming unacceptable to today's consumers.
I want to personalize my experience, and I don't want you to determine my experience for me, but I want you to create a platform where I can personalize my experience.
As experiences like music festivals and immersive theater fuel consumers' expectations for content to be curated and in their control, venues will need to offer adaptable spaces and technology that can facilitate a similar level of personalized content.
It's no longer let's meet in the conference room and sit in these chairs around this table for 2 hours and look at a monitor. It is much more dynamic, much more different.
And it's not just the venues. As content becomes less rigid, planners will need agile management systems that allow for participation-driven restructuring of agendas on a moment's notice. Living 360, move beyond wellness to wholeness. It's no secret that wellness is top of mind these days. However, there is a radical shift in its definition to now include emotional, social, and spatial dimensions.
It's the passive effect that buildings and spaces are having on the human body and longevity and health and wellness for a long time that people are just starting to realize.
With diet and exercise opportunities now the standard, the challenge is to raise the wellness bar and offer progressive ways for attendees to achieve the wholeness they desire.
Pandora's box is a trend that once opened, it's going to be almost impossible to close it. It has no adversaries coming in against it. And so the whole wellness trend, right now there's nothing saying that that's going to be reversed.
Consequently, planners and venues will be judged on new wholeness scores that quantify wellness based on increased creativity and productivity from their engagement with the event's collaborative and personalized content and the physical space itself. Immersive telepresence. Captivate your virtual audience. While video conferencing continues to decrease the distance between people, it will be the rapid advancement of virtual reality technology that truly heightens the emotional and physical connections between them.
360-degree video cameras. They're really amazing. I got a chance to watch some of the Democratic debate, actually, in one of these things. You really get a much higher bandwidth approach than you get from, one single fixed point of camera.
As these virtual capabilities improve, the real threat to true physical presence and interaction is immersive telepresence, the teleconference technology that facilitates a captivating experience not just through audio and video, but also simulated movement.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the technology Beam. I love it. I thought it was great. I interacted with it at a conference, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a hybrid, right? Like, there's a physical embodiment of a person. It's on a screen. I gave them a high five.
As the definition of attendee, speaker, and location broadens to include those participating remotely through immersive telepresence, planners will need to craft coordinated and cohesive experiences that appeal to both in-person and virtual participants. These 5 trends will influence breakthrough innovation over the next 3 to 5 years, morphing meetings and events into something different than they have ever been. We have the power to be the drivers of this change. Are you ready?